afternoon, Facebook friends and YouTube friends as well. This is your girl, Deborah Jones, and this is Blue Table Talk, along with my co-host, Latoya Ozan. Hey, Latoya, how are you tonight?
I'm fine. How are you guys doing?
Good. So
Good.
we have some special guests on tonight. But before I even introduce the guests tonight, let me tell you, just because the pandemic is over does not mean that COVID-19 is over. It's still out there. So there are still some people catching COVID, and they don't tell you have they'll tell you have upper respiratory, but sometimes it's really the COVID. So y'all get your test. You can get free COVID tests now if you go to covid.org and get the free COVID testing. So let's do what we need to do. And I think I'm kind of freezing a little bit because I see I don't see my head moving or bopping or whatever. So, but I'll come back on. My guests might be able to hear me. My guests might be able to hear me, but they'll come on and tell me whether or not they hear us or not. Also, I just got a note. Urgent note is news from the Eagles Hospital. A free perfume sample that was mailed to them. The product was poisonous. And if you receive free samples in the mail, such as lotions, perfumes, diapers. Okay, can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Anybody?
Yes.
You went dead for a little bit, but we can hear you now.
Uh-oh. Hello, y'all still there?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
here.
So it looks like we lost Miss Deborah momentarily.
Yes,
Good old technology.
absolutely. How are you, Diane? You're good.
Are we on?
Yes, I think we
Yes,
lost I
we
lost Miss
lost
Deborah for a minute, but
lost our host.
we have faith that she'll
Mhm.
be with us.
Mhm. Hmm.
Miss Toya still on?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Okay. So we're still connected to the live. We're just not connected to Miss Deborah on the.
Deborah. Hmm.
Yeah, it does that every now and then, but a lot of people are having issues with their phones because they said tomorrow the government is gonna. It's something with the government.
What? Really?
I
They're
heard
gonna
on the
get some
news
type
they're
of
going to be doing an
notification,
emergency broadcast
ma'am.
or something. I said I heard on the news earlier they're doing some type of emergency broadcast or emergency
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
testing.
hmm
Hmm.
Let me go on Facebook and see if we can see her.
No, I'm on the Facebook Live and I don't see her. It looks just like we're looking now on the
Oh,
studio,
oh,
but
y'all.
it's still connected to her live. It's still
But
connected in her
they can hear
posts.
us talking.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Okay.
can.
Okay.
Well,
Well, you
shall we
guys
go
want to
ahead?
introduce yourselves?
Yes, let's go ahead and do that then.
All right. I'm Barbara Daniels, president of Sisters for Sisters.
I'm Diane McCowan. I'm the vice president of Sisters for Sisters of Southeast Texas.
I'm Nicole Harrison, and I'm a member of Sister for Sisters.
And I'm Lori Threes. I'm also a member of Sister for Sisters.
Well, great. We're really happy you guys are.
Okay, Miss Taria, we're not hearing you.
I'm sorry, guys. She's frozen. So what we're gonna do is, if I can get you guys to tell us about your sisters and give us some background information, please.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having us. We want to begin by that. We appreciate any opportunity to share information about our organization. As we've said before, we are Sisters of Southeast Texas, and we began officially as Sisters of Southeast Texas in 2014 under the foundingship and leadership of our first president, Mrs. Kathy Hunter Lee. And prior to our being a organization of Sisters for Sisters Southeast Texas, we were affiliated with Sisters Network, which is a national organization. But it became clear to us with that, which was a good fellowship, but we determined that we perhaps could better serve our local community if we determined that we were a 501 3C. And
Mm-hmm.
so we became that nonprofit. Now we are and are continuing to be a vision of our founder and first president, and that's in the form and person of Kathy Lee. Although she's not with us physically, we feel her spirit continuously. The journey that began for Sisters for Sisters was the brainchild of Kathy, because when she became a breast cancer patient, she found that there was a void in the
Mm-hmm.
service, in those kinds of things that she needed. So she determined in her great spirit that she would uh, form an organization or become a part of an organization that may serve women of color, and even beyond that, women of color in underserved communities. And that was her dream, that was her goal, and that was her vision. And as a result of that, we are for Sisters of Southeast Texas through
Oh,
her dream.
that's a blessing.
Mhm.
Okay, so Miss Kathy, she had breast cancer. When did she transition?
What 2022? What
Okay.
was Yeah,
Oh.
you know, it's interesting because it's interesting that you should say that, because I often speak of her in the present, and
Mhm.
for whatever reason, the number doesn't come to me
Yes, ma'am.
because I still feel her, and I respond to her in the present.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
don't know if that sounds weird, but
No, no.
it's truth. It's true. So
Yes, ma'am.
the numbers and years, I don't generally deal with that year because she's still with us.
Yes, ma'am. Well, do
2020.
you guys do? Can you tell us some things you do in the community?
All right, Miss, my vice president is going to share some of those things. Miss
Okay.
Diane.
All right. Thank you again, first of all, for having us on tonight. And we are a breast cancer survivor group.
Okay.
We honor those that are along their journey with having breast cancer, and also those that have survived the journey as well. We provide education in the community. We've had walks in the neighborhood distributing information. And one of our major events was a gala that Sister Kathy uh, spearheaded for years, that we
Mhm.
were in affiliation, well, we still are actually in affiliation with the Cathedral of Faith Baptist Church here in Beaumont. And we use their facilities to host the gala events each year. Now, due to COVID, we've not had those in the previous, I think 3 years we've not had that. But in the meantime, we have had what we are calling our virtual walk, and that's what we're promoting mainly tonight For your audience, the Kathy Hunter Lee, and this is our fourth annual virtual walk where we collect donations for the ongoing care of those that are experiencing their cancer journey. And that takes place from October 1st through the 28th. And our members are soliciting funds from those who would like to donate. They can either pledge to walk a certain amount and the person pays for, the mileage or whatever, or they can just make a donation. We're those that make a donation of any type, we're giving them a yard sign to place in their yards. And this year we've added a new incentive. There is a health binder that's being given to those who make donations of $25 or more. And we found that that's a great need, the health binder. I am a registered nurse by profession, and it has been shown to have your medical information in one place is a great help when you see your medical providers. You can, we're promoting you to make sections in that binder. You can either, and we've also given suggestions as to the divisions that you can include in your binder. And we've had great success and comments from having that. And we end that celebration on October 28th. Rather, we have a celebration on October 28th at the Cathedral of Faith Annex building. And this year, we will have a presenter in the person of Sister Linda Jones Clark, who is a psychotherapist. And we will also have other entertainment. Sister Bonnie Williams will be there with us. And also we've commissioned a poet, Treva Jones, to have a poem there for us. And we also will have a praise dance. And most of all, there will be refreshments and door prizes. So we're inviting people to come out. And that is Saturday, October the 28th at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And also, we wanted to also make mention that we are going to be recognizing any breast cancer survivors who will be in attendance. We have some little special things that we're going to do with them, and we're going to love on them real, real good.
Okay. And Dr. Lori said that, oh, she's back. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, she's back. She's back.
And since she is back, I would, however, in acknowledging programs that we're involved in, I'd like Dr. Lori to share with us the program that we have, Sisters for Sisters, BCAP.
Oh,
Okay.
sure, Sister Daniel. So, BCAP is a program where those who are experiencing breast cancer and are in need of assistance can submit an application to us. The committee will review that application, and we will, to the best of our abilities, provide assistance for those as it pertains to medical expenses, prescriptions, even if you need assistance with bills like your rent or utilities. We have provided assistance in those areas as well. And we do have certain limits based on each applicant because, of course, we are utilizing funds from our fundraising that I believe was already discussed. And so we do have limits per person within a certain time frame. However, once we get to the end of that time frame, if you are still in need of assistance, then another application can be submitted, and we'll try to meet those needs as best as we can.
And one of the things I would like to emphasize as well is we received a referral from a young lady, and the referral was acknowledging her niece who was in active breast cancer treatment. And I did contact her. She has not requested financial assistance, but we have created a bond, and we stay in contact. And so it's beyond the finance. It's just the support that we attempt to give as a group, as well as I know that Nicole as well is helping someone who is in active breast cancer, and so she is walking that journey with them. So relationally, support emotionally, even spiritually, and which is one of the reasons I think our organization survive is we don't have a problem in acknowledging the spiritual side of our organization, and it does work.
Man.
Amen.
So I'm back on. Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am, loud and clear.
My apologies. I don't know.
No problem.
That
Technology.
internet. But I didn't hear any of the beginning part of it. But I know you probably have already gone through a lot of stuff. But all I want to know is, are all you guys breast cancer survivors?
Oh, no.
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 I
No.
am.
Huh?
The breast
I
Nicole
cancer.
is.
am.
Nicole is.
Or okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I
And
am
so
in
she
6 years of healing.
oh,
Amen.
awesome,
Yes,
awesome.
Mhm.
ma'am.
So you don't have to be a breast cancer survivor to join the organization, or what?
Oh, no.
no.
Oh, that's
No.
amazing. Okay.
Okay.
No, not at all. Like Sister
Yeah.
Daniel said, we encourage everyone to join us. We're just here to support those who are fighting breast cancer or who have survived breast cancer. And we are a network. We are sisters for sisters. We've all been touched in some way by
Yes.
breast cancer. And mine, of course, we all knew Kathy. My mother had breast cancer. So some type of way you've been exposed to it, either in your
Right.
family, church members,
Yeah.
co-workers. So we are here to support each other. And
Mhm.
it can also be, like Sister Daniel said, not even someone just going through it, but someone who is affected by it in their family. They may need support. Caregivers need support. When we have our
That's
monthly
it.
meetings,
So
we've
true.
had people on that are providing information for the caregivers
Mhm.
Right.
because, of course, they need just as much support as sometimes as the individual that's going through the treatment. So we have resources for all that are affected in whichever way they are being affected.
So how can one become a member?
Oh, well, we have a Facebook page where we have a link there, but I can provide that to you now. We have a simple Google form where you can submit your information and you can find it at tinyurl.com/S membership. And that will generate a notification for us so that we can get your information and reach out to you.
That was
And
tiny URL dash four.
tinyurl.com
Oh, .com. Uh-huh.
slash S number 4 S membership.
And that's
And
it.
Sister, I'd like to interject. Our annual dues are $30. Uh, but if you are a breast cancer survivor, you are a lifetime member. We
Mm-hmm.
Right.
would just like to reach out to you. There is no
Absolutely.
annual fees for you.
Mhm.
And Sister Lori also mentioned the monthly meetings we have, and we presenters that we do have coming in. That's part of our monthly meetings. We have presenters that come in and speak on different topics, as she mentioned before, the aspect of the caregiver, also
Mhm.
just very informative information. We've even had someone speak on falls and how to protect yourself from those types of things. Also had someone speaking on
Stress.
safety measures and stress. So it's been some very, very informative topics that we have had.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Miss McCowan, you were saying earlier about donating. Can you tell us how people can donate if they want to donate to your organization?
Yes, Sister, I'm sorry, Lori mentioned that as well, going on our Facebook page, and it will generate a form for you. And it
Okay.
also tells you how you can pay your dues via Cash App, or you can mail that in to us. But that all the information is there on our Facebook page.
So
And
But
that's a
Diane, would you give
membership.
them the cash app? Would you give that
right,
to them?
Cash App, that where those funds can be submitted as well.
And this is for donations, correct?
Yes,
Mhm.
for
Okay.
donations, you can pay your membership that way as well.
Okay.
And how much is
Okay.
membership?
$30 annually. Breast cancer survivors, of course, no charge. They are lifetime members.
Okay,
Okay.
excuse me for 1 minute. Let me talk to my listening audience because they are very important to me.
Sure.
Thank you guys for coming on tonight. We have Sisters for Sisters organization. So I appreciate you. If you even wanted to ask a question, you could go ahead and put it in the comment section, so I can throw the questions to them and they can answer them for you. And because they're better answers, they'll give you a better answer than I can. So thank you. Like I said, thank you, Tamika. Thank you, Virginia, Virgie. Thank you, Yolanda, and anyone else who's on tonight. That a lot of you guys go on my phone instead of coming to the comment page. Come on the comment page and say hello to them, because they're here to answer your questions for you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Dr.
Deborah,
Lori, I'm sorry.
when we were speaking of those of us, I myself have not had breast cancer, but sisters, I have one sister that did not survive it, but I have another sister who did. I have aunts and cousins. I even have had an uncle who had breast cancer. And
Right.
that's one of the things that we want to also present, is that sometimes we don't think about it, but men also can have breast cancer.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if you all, I don't know if you all old enough to remember Shaft. He's a bad mother. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Shaft, he said. Shaft. Richard
The
Roundtree
Roundtree.
had breast cancer.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And so sometimes we that kind of slides by us. But the other thing is that one of the reasons we specifically had Nicole to share with us tonight is, I hope you will allow her to tell her story, if you would do that for us, Nicole.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Nicole.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am, like I said, I'm in 6 years of healing,
Mm-hmm.
and I am a member of Cathedral Faith. I was first informed about the Sister for Sister through Sister Pollard, and me and Sister Daniels and Sister Kathy Lee did a lot of talking on the phone before we even met. And once we met, that was just it. The love was there, it's still there, and I tell anybody it's past, even they help you during and even after. Like I just love every one of those women in Sister for Sister. I mean, it's so much encouraged for me. Like they said, they help with bills. They do the best they can. They help with you spiritually, emotionally. Such great advice, and I just love them. It's a good organization.
Right. So the organization that we have in Southeast Texas is not it doesn't coincide with the organization in Houston, does it?
Well, we originally began with Sisters Network.
Right.
That was our initial association. And we had a good collaboration with them. But at one point, we determined that we could better serve our local community by going on our own, and that was a great decision for us.
Right.
But we're excited to see anyone who is addressing the needs of women of color. And even when we say women of color, we don't exclude, but we do focus on women of color. But Sisters Network was our initial affiliation.
Now, who's the president right now?
Uh, I am,
Okay. Yes.
and Diane is the vice.
Okay.
And you all mentioned about those that the connection with breast cancer. My mother died of the aggressive form of breast cancer back in 1986, when they didn't know a lot about that type of breast cancer. It's very, very deadly at that time, and but they've done a lot of studies. So, as Sister Daniels mentioned, and Lori and others, those of us, we have an affiliation or connection with someone that has had breast cancer.
Right.
So that's our passion. And so if you've known Sister Kathy Lee, she had that passion going. So you get on board with her, and
Yes,
you
she
just
did.
continue on with it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
And that was her dream. And just praying that we are fulfilling her wishes as we go forward. Each year we're adding something a little bit different. As I mentioned, our celebration at the end of October. In the past, it was a big gala that we had, but we're going to come back to that hopefully next year or
yes,
the year
yes.
after. So you all keep your eyes open for us.
Right.
And we would like to thank all those who have donated and participated with us in the past. We've had some great support, but there's always room for more. So that's why we're here to share the word about Sisters for Sisters.
So do y'all have a location or what? I mean, do you have an office here in Beaumont or what? How do you meet?
Well, we don't have an office, but I tell you, we almost have an equivalent because when I say Dr. Delbert Mack and the Cathedral of Faith family are definitely our family and our ultra support.
Mm-hmm.
When before the pandemic, we met at Cathedral of Faith. They allowed us to meet every month at Cathedral of Faith.
Mm-hmm.
Since that time, we meet via Zoom.
Okay.
But when I tell you, because I was listening to, if you notice, Diane refers to us sometimes as Sister Daniels or Sister Laurie,
Yeah.
and that's because we are all members of Cathedral of Faith. But
Mm-hmm.
Cathedral of Faith has indeed been our backbone, and we have had others, even Paradise Baptist Church have been very good to us as well. But we don't have an office, but who knows what God will provide for
Amen.
us one day. And I'm
Absolutely.
glad you spoke it out loud. Somebody may even donate a
That's
office
what
to
I'm
us.
talking
Let
about.
us speak what is possible as if
Yes.
it were.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I have some listening audience on here. They saying something. Let me see what they're saying. I
Mhm.
get their questions or whatever. Oh, she said Virgia Brown says my sister for sisters family. Another my sister Nicole
Hey.
Harrison, who's on your panel this evening. Thank you very much. Virgia, is that how you say her name?
Yeah, Virgia.
Tamika says Stephanie was my aunt. These days
Oh,
have done an amazing job keeping her vision alive and thriving, and I am grateful for that. Absolutely.
amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
She's our go-to person. She's our unofficial chaplain.
Okay.
Yes.
So y'all do have
Oh.
officers, right?
Have what?
Officers, local officers.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
officers. Yes. And we do have a strong affiliation with the Silsby area.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where Kathy originally was from. And we do have some strong connections with the churches there, and family members are there in Silsby that support us greatly, greatly support us.
So I know that you guys are sisters for sisters, and you thrive mainly on um the our people, right?
Yes,
So do
absolutely.
you collaborate with the Julie Rogers as well?
We are not directly affiliated with them, but anytime we hear something that's going on with them, we encourage other people that are able to affiliate. We have members who are affiliated with both,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and I think that's very critical. There are churches that support both groups because I think of we don't have one church in the city of Beaumont. So
Many
there, if we are addressing the needs of people when it comes to breast cancer, there's room for all of us.
right, right.
Right.
And that's also one of the supports we provide. Like when we get referrals to our BCAP program, when we know of other organizations that provide certain screenings, like the Gift of Life, they provide mammograms. So we know of people who may be in need of doing that because they don't have insurance or whatever. We partner with all the different agencies in the city
Right.
that we are aware of to send them to receive the services from those entities. And then if we are need to step in when it's that time when it's more appropriate, then that's when we'll step in. But we definitely refer to all of the different agencies that provide support.
I know you are. I know you have already told us what the BCAP program is. Can you, Dr. Laura? Can you tell us once again that for this?
Yes, so we receive referrals. Someone can refer them to us. We have an application process, and when they're ladies or gentlemen, we haven't had any gentlemen yet, but anyone that is going through breast cancer treatment, if they are in need of assistance with medication, with traveling to physicians, sometimes they have to go out of Beaumont to go to those physicians. They can provide all of that information on the application, and we assist with medical expenses as well as other living expenses.
So what program are you guys sponsoring right now? I know you don't y'all have a walk coming up or something like that, or is it already in effect or what?
This entire
Yeah.
month. Yes.
The whole okay. So what do you do? I think I saw a virtual walk. So what does that mean?
Diane, you want to share
Yes,
that
ma'am.
again with us?
We mentioned that a little bit earlier. I think you weren't with us at that time. It is,
I was
yes, a
out.
virtual. You were out. Yes, yes, it is. It's Kathy Hunter Lee virtual walk, and
Mm-hmm.
it is our fourth annual walk. And what occurs during that time, and it's from October 1st through the 28th. Our members collect funds from individuals. They approach the individuals. They can actually pledge to pay for a certain amount of, say, mileage or whatever that the members will walk or run, or they can just make a donation. And in the past, for donations for $20, they were given a yard sign to place in their yards. And this year, I mentioned that we have what we call a health binder for those who make donations of $25 or more that we'll give into individuals. And the
Excuse me.
culmination of that month is our celebration, which will be held on October 28th at Cathedral of Faith in the Annex building. And I mentioned, one of your previous guests, Linda Jones Clark, will be our guest presenter. She is a psychotherapist and licensed social worker. She will be bringing some information to us, and we all have other entertainment. Bonnie Williams will be there, and also we will have praise dance by Chastity. Mine is blank.
George.
George.
Mhm.
And then also we've commissioned a poet, Treva Johnson, will be performing an original piece that she is compiling for our group. So we'll have refreshments on hand, plenty door prizes. Starts at 10 a.m. and we're wanting to see your face in the place.
Now, what date is
Free
that?
admission, free
Free
admission. Just
admission, of
come
course. I
and
forgot to say
enjoy.
that.
What's the date
Yes.
again? October what?
28th at 10 a.m.
I was getting ready to ask this question, but I think Virgie is getting ready is saying the same thing. I was getting ready to say, is there an education program that you guys have? Whereas, because I know you're a retired nurse, Diane, and
Yes.
their education, Diane's my cousin.
Yes.
Is there an education program where you can educate people on breast cancer and everything?
We do have information that we provide, pamphlets, things of that nature. And we also mention our monthly meetings. We do have presenters that speak to different topics, and there have been medical topics that have been discussed as well during that time.
Okay, so this was Virgia saying. She said they also provided education on different things regarding
Right.
mental health. And
Yes.
mental health is prevalent right now.
Correct.
They are an organization that really cares about the wellness of the community, and being a part of this organization has caused me to be more aware of things that we sometimes push to the back burner regarding our
Wow.
grateful for these ladies and the vision of Miss Kathy Lee.
All right, Virgia. Thank you.
Thank you, Virg. And
She's
thank
our
you.
member.
Thank
Right,
you.
right.
And also when we're using, I thought I would go back and piggyback on the fact when we say virtual, we don't literally come together any one time, but our members walk at their own at their own pace, at their own time,
Mhm.
different times throughout the month. So
Mhm.
Mhm.
because I said that because I did have someone that thought maybe on a certain day we would come together, but throughout the month, on any particular day, our and we have had members to video their walking
Mhm. To
as
what
they're
y'all see.
walking
They
or
all
running.
Mhm.
right,
So it's throughout the month that they do it on. We do it each individually on our own.
right, right. So Terry Raw wants to know again, what is the name of the organization?
Sisters
Sisters
for
for
Sisters.
Sisters of Southeast Texas.
Yes. Sisters for Sisters of Southeast Texas. Oh my God, I'm thinking about joining just by listening to y'all.
Come on.
Come
We're a
on.
great group, and
I
I,
mean,
I have to say, honestly, what that little sign, that little position of president, I don't even have to use it, because when I tell you the people that you see here, but and those the ladies beyond, I mean, when I tell you they're go-getters, and anything they're asked to do is, what do you need me to do? That is the mindset, and they can verify. that they it's a wonderful group of ladies, as well as, and I must give this shout out, Kathy Lee's husband, Martin
Yes,
Lee.
yes,
When I
yes,
tell you, he is a staunch supporter of our organization, and he also works with help me get it right, ladies, the American Veterans Association. I may have said it,
yes.
Yeah.
but
Uh-huh.
he's also a liaison for that. But anything we ask him to do, as well as Tina and his other daughters, they are carrying on that vision, and that is Kathy Lee's husband, Martin Lee. He's a sweetheart, and we are so appreciative of his continuous. And when I use the word continuous, in the real sense of the word, continuous support for us.
Mhm.
Amen.
Okay,
Amen.
awesome, awesome. So who are y'all charter members, and are they still members?
Hmm.
It's interesting when I think of charter members. I guess I'm not really put that together. And look, there's no shame in my game. I can't call it out, Deb.
They
Oh,
are still
I
members,
guess I guess it would be some of those of us who would gather at her house in the afternoons, and she would tell us what she needed to be done. And I think you asked the question earlier, when did Sister Kathy transition? She did transition in the year of 2020. And as Sister Daniel stated, you sometimes forget about
mm,
how long ago that's been,
mhm.
because it's like she's still here with us and
Yes,
still,
yes,
giving
definitely.
us ideas to move forward.
right? Hmm.
Yeah, she was our ever ready battery.
Yes, yes. Uh-huh. Even
I
with
have a
all the challenges she was going through at the time, the
Mhm.
chemo, the radiation,
Right.
all the surgeries she
Never
had,
slow down.
and never slowed down. Yes, yes. So that was June 13th, 2020.
And it was interesting because Deborah, we decided that we wanted to show her special love. And so
Yes.
the Saturday before she did transition, we all got together, and we contacted organizations that she had been a part of. I think about 7 different
Mhm.
organizations,
Yes.
whether she was the president, the bosselers, or a participant. And it was an exciting and extraordinary event. And she sat in her driveway, and we had over 100 cars that
Hmm.
passed in front of her house
Right, right.
and loved on her the
Mhm.
Saturday before she left us.
Oh
Mhm.
wow,
It was
wow,
Yeah.
extraordinary. We literally wrapped the neighborhood
wow.
Mhm.
Yes,
in
Right,
love, in
right.
love.
Mhm.
well, I've seen the signs out, even on my street. Was I think a couple of people have it down the street about sisters for sisters and network and everything. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's awesome. Tara Roy says, "Does the group? Excuse, I'm sorry. Does the group offer counseling to ladies who's going through breast cancer
We can connect them. Yes,
with someone?"
yes.
Right.
No, we can assist in making a referral to that, but as far as the group itself having someone to speak with them about that, but we can direct them to someone to speak with.
Okay, I
Now,
see.
remember, before we indicated we provide the emotional support, and that has been something that, going through that journey, we find that people need. But
Mhm.
as Diane said, whatever they need, we'll find a way to get it
Yeah.
done, and
Mhm.
that's our promise. We'll find a way to get it done.
Mhm.
Yes.
It just need to come to you.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. And I also give the number of 409-658-2691.
Mhm.
That number is available as well, as a method of connecting with us. 409-658-2691. Just be sure to identify your purpose when you call.
Mhm.
That's the number right there. Did I do it right? 409-658-2691.
You
That's it.
got it.
Okay,
Mhm.
That's it.
good, good. So if you guys want to call that number, you would be talking to
Barbara Daniels.
Barbara Daniels. Terry also said, thank you, Terry, for the question.
Working hospitals.
Working in hospitals, I meet a lot of ladies.
Wow,
This.
great.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Going through this, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I have a question, ladies. Like when you go to the doctor, a lot of them will not do the test on you if you're not of a certain age. But you have kids that end up, having cancer. So being an advocate for your, maybe your child,
Hmm.
how can you do that if they say, well, no, they're too young, and maybe they feel a lump in their breast or something like that?
Hmm.
Can you tell us, how would we go around that if they're not listening to us?
Well, from my personal experience, my mother died from, like, as I mentioned, from a very aggressive form of cancer, and
Mhm.
we were like, I guess you would say, underage. But
Yeah.
you just have to be persistent and
Okay.
tell them that family history,
Right.
and
That's critical.
you
Critical.
will,
Very.
you will find someone who will listen to you. It may,
Mhm.
take a bit, but you have to be persistent and you have to be an advocate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have to go to a
Mhm.
different doctor.
Go to a different doctor.
Right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Are there some symptoms you can, tell us about? Maybe people can look out for.
Usually the classic symptoms, breast, noticing a breast that, I'm sorry, a lump in your breast that may change over time.
Mm-hmm.
Monitoring that. That's why we promote the monthly breast exam checks,
Mm-hmm.
and usually with following up with your doctor, and taking note of the changes in the sizes of those areas. They will order further testing for you.
And it isn't different coloration sometimes can be an issue.
Uh,
Discolorations. Yes,
discolors.
discolorations and just knowing your body throughout
Right.
the different times. Of course, ladies, our breasts change when we around our menstrual cycles. So just knowing your body and how it looks. I know my doctor one time told me, just standing in the mirror and looking when you have your hands on your hips and moving and making sure you're not seeing any parts that are not moving with you and everything. And as well as when you're doing those lumps, we also have, different other things in our breast, the fibroids and everything that flare up around our cycles and everything. So just knowing your body and knowing how it changes throughout that monthly cycle time. And when you see anything, bring it to the attention. Don't let it
Right.
linger on.
Right.
When you notice something, even if you think, oh, this is probably nothing. If it's something
Right.
different, you need to make sure you bring it to the attention of your medical professional. Of course, now we have teledoc. I know I work in the district, so we can go to this healthcare center for free.
Yeah.
And it's just like going to the doctor. So just check with your insurance, check with your employer to see what options are available for you for different types of practitioners so that you can go. And that's why you're paying for insurance. So that's why you have insurance so that you can utilize that. And so making sure that's the one thing, knowing your body. So when you see something different, if it's a change in color, if it's a size, or just noticing just any little dimple or lump or anything, making sure that you take care of it immediately, because early detection is
It's the
key.
key.
We hear
Right.
that all
The
the time
key.
about
It's
early
true.
And
detection.
it's
So
true.
Right.
Mhm.
whenever
And
you can find out, then take
and
care of it.
mentioning the early detection, in my mother's case, she'd had some changes that she'd not called to our attention. I was a nurse at the time, but
Mm-hmm.
she never did say anything. Actually,
Mhm.
our dad was the one who said, it's four girls of us. He said, you girls need to talk to your mother. She got something going on there and she don't want to talk about it,
Mhm,
Wow.
so,
Wow.
mhm,
and a lot of times we find that to be true in
Yeah.
our neighborhoods. You're
mhm,
afraid and things of that nature enter into it. And, you don't say anything.
mhm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
knowledge is power. Knowledge is
Yeah.
power.
Now
Most
it's
definitely.
power, baby.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I will also like to interject that um I indicated I am not a breast cancer survivor. However, I detected a lump in my breast that the mammogram did not show.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And so I have had a lumpectomy. I've had a lump removed from each one of my breasts.
Mhm.
Fortunately, they were benign,
Right.
but I found it myself. The
Mhm.
mammogram didn't pick it up. And at this point, I also the BRCA, I'm probably mispronouncing it, Diane. The
BRCA.
BRCA.
BRCA. Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate enough to be a part of that study. And
Mm-hmm.
so as a result of that, they did detect something. Initially, they didn't, but they reevaluated it. And so as part of that study now, I have a mammogram, and then every 6 months, I have an MRI, which is being scheduled this week, actually. So I
Mm-hmm.
go from mammogram to MRIs, alternating every six
Month.
months. But
Mm-hmm.
I was able to have the BRCA done for me. And again, that family history, my history
Mm-hmm.
is filled with instances of breast cancer. As I said, two sisters, uncle, first cousins, aunts. And so based on that, I was able to get additional services that they allowed me to get the test done.
Mm-hmm.
And persistence is critical.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
let people tell you, oh, it's probably nothing. That
Mhm.
probably doesn't work for you.
Right.
Okay. It's not a probably thing. Let's check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure it's nothing.
Right.
So one of my listening artists, Cheryl Chambers, says, my mother died from breast cancer at 47 and grandmother at
Mm-hmm.
52. My
Mm,
doctor was my advocate when I was in the late 20s, early 30s,
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
fought for me to go to MD Anderson twice a year, alternating between mammograms and MRIs. You
Wow.
Yeah.
need to go where they see that cancer all the time and could most likely detect it. My four sisters do the same. We're truly blessed.
That's right. That's it.
Beautiful,
That's it.
beautiful
Mhm.
testimony.
I
Yes.
mean, that's great that the doctor was an advocate for
Yes.
her and could see that there was a need. And that's one of the things we need to uh, uh, pay close attention to. The fact that we have Houston as close as it is to us and
Right.
MD Anderson, and the fact that they're seeing more things than our area doctors see here. And a lot of our area doctors do refer to MD Anderson. So I think we need to be grateful that we are as close as we are to MD Anderson, where we can get more extensive, knowledge and
Right.
care, So, and I know some
Evaluation.
people can't do that, but because of insurance purposes, but there are ways and there are studies that you can participate in to get the care that you need.
Right. So, Sisters for Sisters organization, do you guys just gear to the breast cancer, not for fibrocystic cancer, or anything like that that goes on in a woman's body or whatever?
No.
No, just breast.
Yes, breast cancer. Breast cancer
Breasts.
is our focus.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
wow. Because like you say, you have to check your breast. I don't care if you have a little teeny teeny breast. You still need to check.
Mhm.
Yes, teeny teeny
Yes,
if you don't
Deborah.
have
Yes,
any.
Deborah.
It still needs to be checked. I tell my
That's
doctor, I
it.
ain't checking that.
Mhm.
And
And I know
also, Diane,
especially those.
Would you share what you were responsible for placing in our medical binder? Would you share that with the self-exam
Oh
sheet?
yes, as a part of the medical binder that we're offering to those who give donations of $25 or more, there is some information that's included there on facts pertaining to breast cancer, and there is also a checklist, more or less, of your self breast exams that's included in there as well. We talked about those health binders earlier, and that's in there. Mm.
Dr. Laura, you were saying something?
Oh, you were saying about smaller breasts. I know another doctor told me as well, like when you have smaller breasts, they call them dents, I believe, Sister Diane.
Mhm.
And so
Or
sometimes it's harder to detect.
Yeah.
they
And
may
so,
have
don't think about, size and everything. You just
right.
need to make sure. That's why another reason you really just need to know your body and making sure you're doing your self checks so that you can know how your breasts change throughout the month. And so when you do go for your annual checkup, depending on when it is, you can make sure you can advocate that, if you've noticed something different
Mhm.
and if they don't detect something.
Nicole,
And I'd like to also interject. It's okay if you go to another doctor.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
Mm-hmm.
times, you just there's an uneasiness about
Right.
what a particular doctor is telling you. It's like
Mm-hmm.
something's just not right.
Yeah.
So you can kind of detect that yourself. So, and it's nothing wrong with going to another doctor or
Mm-hmm.
asking
Thank
for
you for
another
that, Diane.
opinion.
Thank you
You
for that.
know, we
True.
have to be aggressive about our bodies and about our care. We have to be our own best advocates.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So true.
Let,
Miss
let me
Diane, when you do that,
ask
they
you
start calling you difficult.
Huh? Yes,
I
that's
said
true, but you
whenever
don't
you do, they
care.
start calling you difficult.
But
right.
That's
that's
okay.
okay.
That's
That's
okay. You
okay.
have
We
your
don't
life.
care.
It's your life that you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
protect. And
Yeah.
a lot of times they kind of write us off a little bit, the little
Mm-hmm.
black female, let's
Yeah.
be truthful about it. They kind of
Mm-hmm.
write us off.
And
Uh
older, and
yeah.
older. I know my
And
mom
older, yes.
wasn't diagnosed until she was 74. And
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
so
Wow.
that's another, if you're caring for elderly, make sure you're checking them as well.
Yes.
That's good. That's
Because
And
good.
they,
one
Thank
of
you,
our
Laurie.
members has
I'm glad you
also
brought that up.
reminded us
Yes.
one of our members has also reminded us that we need to check those areas underneath our arms. And this
Right.
particular member that's reminding us of that is a two-time cancer survivor. And she does
Wow.
not mind letting it be known that
Mm-hmm.
there
Mm-hmm.
is life after breast cancer. She
Right.
All
says it all
right.
the time, all
Right.
the time. Yes.
Is it
Thank you,
lumps underneath your
Connie.
breast? Miss
Huh?
Diane, is it lumps underneath your arms?
Yes, you have lymph nodes in that area as well, and you can tell some changes that can be there,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
that can giving that information to the doctors will let them know as well. And someone is also saying, oh, I don't know, Deborah, if you need to say that or not. I'm sorry, I'm just
That's
going
okay.
ahead.
Hey, Fine. You
It
good.
flashed on my screen.
Yes, Terry says men need to notice these symptoms for breast cancer. He said the
Yes,
lump, flaky skin on the chest, irritation of the breast, nipple,
nipple.
with
Uh-huh.
harsh
Mm-hmm.
pain in the nipple area.
Thank you,
Wow.
Terry.
Thank you for
Thank
Mm-hmm.
you,
that.
Terry.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Most
Terry.
definitely, most definitely, Mr. Terry.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Terry.
Yes,
I guess
Lord.
that's a man. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is.
Terry.
I was going to ask Nicole. I know she's a breast cancer survivor, but is that hereditary in your family or what?
No, ma'am. Actually, what it was, my aunt is the one that had breast cancer, but anybody else, no.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Can it be hereditary, Diane?
Yes, of course it can. That's the importance of others. And if you have they ask you about your family history when you
Right.
go for
Right.
testing, and that gives them a sense of, well, you're highly susceptible or more or less, genetic, hereditary.
Yeah. And Deborah, I mentioned the BRCA. And I did when I had the test, the doctor in his evaluation of me, and when he was giving me the results, and he indicated what was normal and what was dangerous, I was almost off the chart, and in part because of my family history. So
Hmm.
family history
Adds more.
must be taken note of in a special
Mhm.
way. It is a very important factor. And so, but the other thing is, I'm thinking we need to come out of the idea that we don't want to talk about things because sometimes we don't know our family history. And so,
Mhm.
if nothing else, hopefully your program, Deborah, will encourage people to talk to aunts, talk to moms and grandmothers,
Yeah.
and however you need to do it to that make them comfortable, but find out what that family history is so that you will be equipped to share with your doctor
Mhm.
what that family history is because it can be a very critical of facts that
Mhm.
can be denoted by just talking with your family members, male and female.
Male and female.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so
Mhm.
the clock on the wall says that it's almost time for us to get on out of here. But before we get out, I want you guys to talk again about the program that's coming up on the 28th of October and to let them know everything about it so that they can be a part of it and also the member how they can become members.
Diane, would you share that about the program?
Yes. This is our fourth annual Kathy Hunter Lee virtual walk, and it's being held the October 1st through the 28th. We are accepting tax deductible donations, and you can make those donations via check. You can also send that cash app to sisters, the number 4 sisters, and $ S4S 2018. Or you can notify our president, Sister Barbara Daniels, at 409-658-2691. Our closing celebration will be held on October 28th, which is a Saturday at 10 a.m. Our special presenter will be Linda Linda Jones Clark. She is a licensed uh, social worker and psychotherapist. We will also have a commissioned poetry piece done by Treva Jones. His poet is her name.
Mhm.
And also our guest soloist will be
Bonnie. Bonnie
Bonnie,
Williams.
Bonnie Williams. She's known in our area. And also we will have a praise dance by Sister Chastity George. And of
Mhm.
course, we will have refreshments and plenty of door prizes. There is no admission. The cost is free. So we'd like to see you all to come and help us celebrate the ending of the fourth Kathy Hunter Lee annual walk.
And
Thank
we
you
will
so
be
much.
recognizing any breast cancer survivors that will be
Right,
in attendance.
right.
We're
Special
gonna love
token.
on you real good. Don't miss out.
Mhm.
I'll be amiss if I didn't say this. When I was kind of Richard said, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, my first cousin went to have her mammogram. She had breast cancer in both breasts, and she is alive today.
All
So,
Praise
right.
God.
All right.
praise,
Mhm.
praise
There
report.
is life after breast
There
cancer.
is life
Yeah.
Yes,
after breast
yes,
cancer.
yes.
Life after
Yes,
breast cancer.
you
Amen.
ladies have been
Amen.
awesome tonight, and I thank you. First of all, let me tell Dr. Laura, congratulations on your career change. Uh, that's,
Thank you.
that's my girl right there. And
We're
guys,
excited about that for her.
Yes.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And thank you guys for coming on tonight. When Diane called me to ask me about it, I was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." You know, I told her it's cancer month, and I'm starting off with breast cancer. And I'm going to do with all types of cancer. I'm trying to get some men. In case you guys are on here, I'm trying to get some men who have prostate cancer.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Oh, good.
I want to
Good.
talk about and guys, I don't know why they don't want to talk about it, but they can talk about it so that they can help somebody else.
Right,
Right.
Mhm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
so
good.
I'm having somebody on with that, and I'm
Wonderful.
having somebody with lupus on, and what else, Toria? Lupus and
Lupus. We're going to talk about mitochondria, myopathy, what I was diagnosed with, and sickle cell.
Oh,
mhm.
yeah. Sickle cell is a
Wow.
good one.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Now,
Very
I
good.
do have one
Mhm.
question, ladies, before you guys go. Like when you go to the doctor and they test you, if you have a family history and they tell you, well, no, you're fine, you're not going to have cancer. Should you still continue to check into that, or since you have that
Yes,
test,
ma'am.
okay?
Absolutely.
Like Deborah says, absolutely.
I just want to put that
Absolutely.
out there.
That's my new
Can we
word.
get another absolutely?
Another absolutely.
Yes,
Mhm.
No one can tell you
No,
that.
exactly.
No, they don't know. They're just practicing. They're called practitioners because they're practicing medicine.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
it.
why people
Yes,
refer to Houston to larger cities because they have more practice. They're getting more practice in, so they see more cases.
See more cases,
Mhm.
right, of
That
a
But that
variety of.
doesn't, and I know like my mom, we didn't, her doctors were here, but they were from MD Anderson. They went to MD Anderson and they had a practice here. So, ask
Wow.
those questions as well. If, traveling, because like I said, she was elderly, had dementia. So traveling back and forth would have been an additional challenge. And so we were able to find some doctors who specialize with elderly care and breast cancer who were actually here, but they also practice at MD Anderson.
Right.
Right. That's good. That's another thing too.
That's
Yeah.
yes.
We
Very
do have
good.
some of those
That's
doctors that
saying,
yeah.
Terry said men really need to get checked for prostate cancer. Terry, you know anybody who has had prostate cancer, have them
And willing
contact
to
me so
speak
that they
about
can
it.
come
Yeah.
on the
Right.
podcast. Because I really, really need someone to help other men because a lot of men are just scared. I'm not getting myself checked, you know. So but
Mhm.
they have to. They need to. I mean,
Yeah.
women go all the way. I know this woman does.
Mhm.
I'm getting everything checked.
Yes.
That's it. Mhm.
Deborah Chapman says, beautiful segment, guys, with full of wisdom for all of us to be reminded the importance of taking care of our bodies and important to know our family's history. Thank you.
As well. That's
Thank
right.
you, Deb.
Right.
Thank you, Deb.
Deborah. Mhm.
Yeah. So
Another one of our friends.
yeah, I really well. So
Mhm.
Tori, do you have anything to say before we leave?
No,
No?
ma'am, it was a pleasure with this podcast. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna join just to join.
Right
Please,
on.
please.
Our
Come
membership
on.
is scrolling
Welcome.
across. And we've had
Welcome.
some that come in since we've been on the
Yes,
call. So
We
ma'am.
thank you
sure
all
have. We
for
sure
Yeah.
Thank
have.
you
joining.
so much.
Mhm.
Thank
Thank
you for
Yeah.
having us.
you
So
for
we
thank you for
appreciate that.
accepting us. Thank you.
Uh-oh.
And we've enjoyed it actually.
Yeah, I enjoy
Uh-oh.
you guys.
Did that.
Look at Diane
Mhm.
playing with her computer.
Mhm.
Goodness.
Girl, please.
So guys, so everybody, thank
You
you
know,
guys.
old people in technology.
Thank you for joining us on Blue Table Talk tonight with our Sister for Sisters organization of Southeast Texas, and you guys always support us. Thank you very much. And if I can help somebody as I pass along this way, then I know that my living is not in vain. God bless you
Wow,
guys.
that's our theme song. How about that? You know, that's our theme song. Did you know that already?
God,
Yeah, Sister Gardner usually sings that song for us at
are
the
you
end of our
serious?
input.
Yes,
Are you
Yes,
serious?
she
Hey,
yes.
sings that song.
I
Yes,
love those words.
Divine appointments.
Yes,
yes.
ma'am. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am. So I'm gonna say
Mm-hmm.
smooches to everybody.
Mwah.
Smooches.
Thanks again.
Thank you, love.
Thank you again.
Bye
All right.
bye.
Appreciate you, Deb.
All right.
Bye
Yes,
bye.
ma'am.
Love you all.
Anytime.
Love you all. Good night.
Bye bye.
Mama D.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me get the podcast
Oh,
off. Let me
Mama
get
D.
it straight.